And welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with King and Sharif. I'm King.
I'm Sharif.
And tonight we are talking about the Diddy documentary and the state of the black community going into 2026. Yeah. So did you watch the documentary?
I did last night, man.
Did you?
Fortunately, last night I went home early.
Okay.
What was it, Tuesday? I never get home before 12, but last night I just happened to get home early and fell asleep.
Okay.
And I woke up about 12 o'clock, was wide awake, and new grandbaby was over there. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, so just kind of, he was crying, so I couldn't go back to sleep if I wanted to. And
right.
I just locked in and watched every episode.
What are your thoughts?
It's more disgrace for the man, you know what I mean? If he had some kind of comeback plan, that probably ended it.
Well, so I think I agree, but I also think that there was a little bit of spitefulness, and it was kind of a hit piece as far as, because he and 50 don't have the best relationship. So yeah, he's
well. Go ahead.
He's psycho. He's a psycho.
50 or Puffy.
I mean, so I got my opinions about both of them, right? You already know how I kind of feel about Puffy, but as far as 50's concerned, like I said, I feel like it was a hit piece because, 50's reputation isn't the best anyway. He's like the Brian McKnight of rappers as far as the kids, and he is.
Like taking care of his kids
and stuff.
Yeah,
like, so, you have to take the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to look at it through that lens. However, some of the footage that was taken was actual footage that Diddy was going to use in a documentary that he was going to make on himself. So I do.
If he was found not guilty,
right? And I do know that Diddy has already sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix to try to get the documentary removed.
I don't think he could do it. As big as Netflix is, I think they had a chance not to release it after the cease and desist, and it still came out. Mm-hmm. When it didn't come out at 12 o'clock, I thought, okay, they're not gonna
came out at 3.
They're not gonna come out, but it came out.
Yep, came out.
They wanted
3.
some people to be asleep when it came out.
Yeah, and it was number 1.
Right,
like already.
My feelings on it is, I'm gonna start from the P. Diddy standpoint. Mm-hmm. He taped it. It's his words. It's his information. They didn't have a chance to go through it and edit and everything like that. I mean, he's in jail. Somebody could make more money selling the footage than what he was going to pay. That's the game. He knows the game.
Right.
He plays in the game. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like it's his fault that, that he let somebody obtain it. And, and I feel like that, somebody was going to get it. Whether it was TMZ or whether it was, whoever was going to get it, ABC, they were going to make a documentary or make a 1 hour Dateline or something with that information in there. Mm-hmm. So once he filmed it, and that's any time you film anything, it could come out. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a sex tape, whether it's a confession, whether it's, whether it's just a basic conversation that we having right now, it could come out at a later date, you know what I mean? So I just felt like, he set himself up for that. It's just another bad thing that that smeared his reputation, especially the stuff about after he'd shake the hands down in Harlem, how he was like he got to take a bath. I could have seen like he said he got to wash his hands. Yeah. But he was just like, I got to take a bath. Like, these people are filthy.
Diabolical.
And this is the place these are the same people that you came from. Your father was a hustler in Harlem, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That really, you know what I mean? I already, like, didn't appreciate him as a person. Not because he beat a woman. That's awful, but, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's a relationship, domestic thing. But just the way he was just, carrying himself and the arrogance and everything like that. And then what this documentary did, it just went back through stuff that he had done that everybody had forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going to forget about the J-Lo thing.
Right.
But the fact that, he left Shine to dry on that, and everybody feels like P. Diddy was the one with the gun. So, you know what I
Definitely
mean?
did that.
Yeah, and you know, the Tupac thing, it brought that back up where, you know what I mean, everybody, a lot of people love Tupac. But I think what really hurt him in that thing was that he was supposed to pay, you know, for one, you got an artist like Biggie, why would you have to pay for his funeral? You know what I'm saying? And then if you do have to pay for his funeral, you know what I mean, why would you, you know what I mean, do it that way and want money back, and you're online saying how, you know, how this is your friend, and you know, it, and at the time, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but at the time they were saying Biggie was leaving. Bad Boy, his contract was up. He was doing a double album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This man is so so diabolically insane. You know, it's just crazy. You know, gangster mobster or whatever. You know what I mean? He could have, you know, had something to do with that. Gave them where they was gonna be at in the route. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past him. Now, at first, I just thought that was stupid when people said that.
Yeah.
But now that I watched this documentary, I'm like.
Because we had that conversation. You were like, nah, he loved him. I was like,
he loved him,
yeah.
It's the same thing with Suge and Tupac. Well, I really don't think Suge had anything to do with Tupac. You know, you don't let anybody shoot in the car that you in. But,
or, I don't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't even let a trained assassin shoot in the same car that you're in. You know, a bullet could go any way. You know what I mean? But, yeah, this thing with Puff, it was just crazy. But from the 50 Cent side of things, it's just a whole other thing to unfold. Is he snitching? Yes. And that's always been a thing.
Is he snitching, or is he reporting, or is he just capitalizing on what was already out there? I mean,
well, you know, 50's a cancer, so you know he's got a heart. You know what I mean?
Does he?
No, he probably got a heart. Yeah, I mean, I don't know too many cancers without a heart. That's one thing about it. But, you know what I mean, once you break their heart, you know what I mean, it's probably ever, it's probably been his life mission to see this man go down. But, you know what I mean, my whole thing with 50 is, you know what I mean, 50 came in the game as a street dude, you know what I'm saying? And street dudes don't do what he just did, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't think he helped his reputation. I think, you know what I mean, like
you don't think 50 helped his own reputation?
I don't think he helped his own reputation. I think, you know what I mean, it's where my grandmother says, you know what I mean, when you seek revenge, dig two caskets, the person you're gonna bury in your own self.
Two.
I think his credibility, his street cred went out the window. Because do
you think he cares though?
I don't think he cares, but I don't think he cares, but you know what I mean, you know, if you're from the streets, you know what I'm saying, you have a rep.
Well, so being from the streets, you have a certain reputation, but also he has a certain level of petty to me that surpasses the street stuff. Like he.
Yeah, but if you knew 50 before that, you know what I mean, like coming into the rap game, like me as a rapper, like I know 50 Cent. 50 Cent, I probably was 19, 20 years old when I first heard of 50 Cent. We're around the same age, you know what I mean? 50 came in with Real Hard, and then he came in with How to Rob. He robbed every rapper on the record. Said what he would do to each rapper and stuff. Then he was shot. Then he came back. He had a hard album, made millions. He went through the beefs. You know what I mean? He was a G. So you know what I mean. And G's don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If you're a civilian and you do something like this, it's journalism.
But now he's a businessman.
Yeah, but he came in. I go by what you came in as, not what you changed to. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Who you were before the fame is who I'm looking at. Like, you came in as somebody that took a oath. You know what I'm saying? Like street niggas. You know what I'm saying? They take an oath. You know what I mean? Like when you in the streets, it's an unwritten. You know what I mean? Some people crip their fingers and everything, but others just have an oath to doing certain things, and he broke that oath, and he's done it before, but then he was able to, I didn't write a statement here, you don't even know it was a statement, you know what I mean, he was able to get out of that by being funny and by being the villain and by being, you know, who 50 is, very charismatic, you know what I mean, intelligent guy, you know what I'm saying, so he was able to whip through that, and then he came out with the powers and all that kind of stuff, and it really blew him up to this being this guy with a great street cred, but then you turn around and you basically that's like an informant. Like you got information and you gave it to someone. You know what I'm saying? You spilled it out with intentions to harm someone. You know what I mean? I don't think he brought this out because he's a journalist. He's not a journalist.
I think so. I think that it was he capitalized on the fact that he's in prison, and I also think that a lot of it has to do with his ego. I don't think he was thinking about his street cred. I think he was thinking about the dollar bill, and he was also thinking about the fact that he's always had this vendetta against Diddy. And, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, Diddy, he had so much material out there just from what we knew at large as the public. And then him coming across all this footage, he sees the opportunity.
It's telling.
It is.
Telling is telling. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, you know what I'm saying?
Was this information, because I haven't seen it yet, was this information that the prosecutors had?
No, the prosecutors probably did have some of this, and it's probably sealed. But this is information that leaked out and was given to the person, that 50's backing. It was given to the woman. And the woman went through it and was gonna make and made the documentary and everything like that, but she had to sell it. She sold it to 50 Cent, who has a production. He's the new Tyler Perry. He's the
hood Tyler Perry.
Yeah, he's the new Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? That's doing all the films and TV and all that kind of documentaries.
And so the woman that sold it to him,
nothing against her. She's doing what she's doing.
Who can be mad at her?
Nobody should be mad with her. She's a citizen. She's a journalist, and this is what they do.
She had it, and so
but 50 has 50 who's a very wealthy man and probably going to make a few million off of this, but.
I don't think it's about the money, though. I think it's about the money, but I also think it's about the satisfaction.
If it's not about the money, then it's ridiculous to me.
He's petty.
Yeah, and that's bad.
Yeah,
and that's a sin. I mean, what he's doing is not exposing a pedophile. They already did that. They wasn't able to prove that in court that he was a pedophile. And so what he's doing is not. P. Diddy is no harm to the community. It's already been said that the people that he's been found guilty of prostitution, but the people that he prostituted with were adults. You know what I mean, and said yes or no on their own will. Like he didn't. So you're not exposing a predator. You know what I mean? Like you're exposing this nasty guy. You know what I mean? That's whatever. But we already knew that. So you know what I mean? To come out with the documentary now is an act of revenge, which is a sin.
Yeah, he definitely.
So you know what I'm saying? And not only is it a sin, you know what I mean? You already won. You wrote a letter to the judge saying that you don't feel safe. Now come on, when does 50 Cent not feel safe from P. Diddy? Yeah, he wrote a letter to the judge saying he didn't feel safe if P. Diddy was released to give him the maximum sentence.
Wow.
Like, all of this is just going too far. For him, like, okay, bro, you won. You know what I'm saying? You won. You know what I mean? The man asking you, can he buy you an outfit? You trying to make it seem like he tried to make you into a victim. You know what I mean? And it's just real weird to me that he would carry that far. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think both of them ruined a little bit of their reputation. But like, who would want to be around 50 after this documentary?
Somebody wants to be around.
Nah, I mean, I'm talking about like a friend, a girlfriend, you know what I mean, or whatever. And then that's the other thing about this thing with him and Diddy, that it's over a woman too. It's not over the fact that P. Diddy didn't sign him, because they did a song after that. It's not over. You know what I mean? Him asking him to take him shopping because they did a song after that. It's over a girl that P. Diddy dated his baby mama. It's about
so crazy.
It's about the woman. So now you showing that you cake bake. You a simp. So you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? They in my eyes, and you know what I mean, I'm pretty sure if it's only 10 of us that feel this way, you ruin 10 people. Perception of who you are, you know what I mean? Like, I really was kind of shaky with him already in the beginning because he was doing things against the Supreme Team, which, you know what I mean, or some like idols that I have, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I thought that was weird. But if they shot you 9 times, I see where you would have a vendetta.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I give you a pass on that. Then you dissed all my favorite rappers, give you a pass on that. That's just a rap stuff. And then, you know what I mean? You have some little shaky stuff where you're picking at people and trying to ruin, Meat Meals and all these other people that you're. It's like a bully. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a bully. Now.
And then after I get over all of that, after you do the power stuff, like this guy's man really on to something, and then you do something like this. The man was already way down.
Did he cancel BMF?
Yeah, he canceled BMF because the guy Meech was friends with Rick Ross, and so when he got out of jail, you know what I mean, he linked up with Rick Ross a couple of times. So he was just like 50 said that was like an act of portrayal because he took his son and you know what I mean and gave him acting lessons and let him play him in the show and all that kind of stuff. But he was willing enough to give up the series because of something is that simple. But everybody was saying that he's making it seem like that's why he gave up the series, but it really was him and Stars couldn't come to another agreement. So with that series or whatever. So, money wise, so you know what I'm saying? You never know with 50, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it wasn't needed. You know what I mean? It was it just wasn't needed. He was already doing time, bro. What else? What else can you do to him?
Kick him some more?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let them have that one. Why we got to, even tarnish a black man even further in public, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did a good enough job
but he put the dirt on Diddy on that one. Diddy had a chance of life. He took him out. If that was his goal to take him out, he took them all the way out with that one. But it was going to come out regardless. That's what people need to know is that the lady was shopping the tape. Mm-hmm. She brought it to 50 because of their beef.
Right.
And the way that 50, and the fact that 50 has production money, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it was a perfect thing for her, and you know what I mean, and he didn't turn it down. But she was going to sell it to somebody.
So I know we talked about before, when we were talking about Diddy before, that we said that, there was maybe a possible chance that he could rehabilitate himself after this. Do you think that there's any chance? I mean, because honestly, a lot of the stuff that, probably came out in the documentary just reinforced what we thought we knew about him, and now we just know for sure. Because, I mean,
that documentary was crazy.
But to be honest, the court of public opinion, we're fickle as a society.
I think the documentary, everybody that was on the edge about it, like, oh yeah, free Diddy, I think
they not.
I think they
keep lock him up.
I think after the documentary, they just like, man, this guy ain't right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that was on the fence, like, hey, he was not guilty, but now they just kind of
it's
like,
done.
Yeah, I think that was a nail in the coffin. I already thought it was a nail in the coffin because I don't see how you can come out. Nobody's gonna sponsor you. Nobody's gonna do this. You would have to spend a lot of your own money to do stuff, and I don't know, businessmen don't spend their own money, so not all the time. So
maybe he'll come out and just live a quiet life.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think his ego is gonna let him. I don't think his ego is gonna allow him.
I think he's gonna turn up places and turn up with people. I think some people in the community gonna accept him because he's got money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I just think what people believe, even if people smile in your face when they walk away from you, what they believe, you know what I'm saying? Or what they feel about you. His reputation is gone. But on the bright side for him, you're spending time in a federal prison that's more like a camp, you know what I mean? Where they cook, they buy groceries, you know what I'm saying? They do stuff, like regular living, so you know what I mean?
And didn't he have Thanksgiving catered for?
They say that. I like to see some proof of that because I don't know how the federal prison laws are, but I don't think he could have did that in state prison. So I don't, I don't think he can,
But he's in federal prison, right?
But he's in federal prison, so I don't know how the laws are. But with all this AI stuff, you never know.
Right.
Like I see pictures every day that look like they got a picture of Diddy behind the walls, and I don't think
it's not him.
It's not him.
Oh, P. Diddy.
So this could be fabricated, but it is what it is. He brought it on himself.
He did.
Too bad it was Brother 50 that had to, be a part of that. And then you go on every news channel with it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't,
I don't expect anything less.
It was weird. Yeah.
Nothing that 50 Cent does surprises me.
I think he tarnishes his image, not just in the streets, but just with people just like people that are like anti-black, you know what I mean? Like not anti-black, but you know what I mean, for black people, like, you know, like, damn, dog, you know what I mean? Like, you that mad over a girl that you know, the man. People Diddy never came out and said anything bad about 50 Cent.
He didn't?
No, it's just been constantly attacks from 50 side that, you know what I mean, you know, that just keep going on and on and on. So, you know what I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
Well, that's a great segue into our next topic. The state of the Black community going into 2026. That's an interesting topic. And what aspect what are we talking about? We talking about economically? We talking about politically? Just in general?
Well, politically, this is a big political year.
It is a big
2026.
Yes, it is.
That's where we get into the little Congress and House of Representatives stuff, and hopefully the momentum from the November elections will carry over to where we can make it hard for Donald Trump to do all this stuff that he's been able to get done, or is trying to get done. So
something new every day.
Yeah, so November could change things going into 2027. We could be, you know, his last 2 years, we could make it real hard on him by not having the majority votes.
Well, so the last thing I saw was that a lot of Republicans were turning against Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. And so he is real nervous right now because he doesn't think that he's going to have his job much longer, which, you know, whatever. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, the majority speaker.
You know, they can't remove him from his being the House of Representative, but remove him from like being the Speaker.
You remove him from being the Speaker because a lot of Republicans are kind of giving him the side eye right now, because of a lot of things that's happening, and also it looks like, I know, and we'll get back to the topic, but it also looks like Kash Patel is going to be ousted from the FBI soon. Which I kind of expected. I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did because he's brown, and this administration doesn't necessarily like brown people, and so they're using him as the fall guy.
But he's not qualified.
Definitely. Well, most of his cabinet's not qualified, but he doesn't understand that it's do as I say, not do as I do. So he was trying to use the FBI jet to go see his girlfriend or go to a ski slope and just do different things. And you can't do that because you're brown. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. And then also, I don't think that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, is going to last much longer neither.
They're just going to replace him with more bullshit.
Well, Secretary of War. I think he's cooked because of the thing that happened over in the Caribbean. He, you know, it's a war. Basically, he committed war crimes, and he's trying to throw. He just committed a war crime, and you know, he bombed some people, and there were survivors left. And
is this where they bombing the people that's trying to get drugs over?
Right. Or so allegedly. Right. We're not sure what it was, but then when they saw that there were some survivors, they went back and bombed them again, and that is inherently a war crime. So, he
may lose his job, but this Patel dude, you know, even if they do replace him, they're just gonna put another piece of shit in that office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The head of the FBI, you know what I mean? That is always going to be somebody that you know, that's not going to prosecute the people that the president doesn't want to prosecute.
Right.
It's going to go after the people the president want them to go after.
Yeah.
But,
So, but getting back to the subject though, but economically going into 2026, you know, this year has been hard for some people because EBT, they're still recovering from that. And a lot of minority people work for the government. Yeah. And so that 45 days or however long it was, people are still recovering from that.
Yeah, but they'll recover.
They'll recover.
But the thing about that is, you know what I mean, if you stayed on your job, you came up.
How so?
Yeah, all the federal workers that stayed on their job, they're getting their pay, the back pay, and $10,000 bonus. So,
are they?
Yeah, they're getting their back pay and the $10,000 bonus.
Nice. I didn't know.
Yeah, all the federal workers that stayed on their job are getting $10,000 bonuses. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it's got to pass, but that's what he said.
Well,
that's what he said. We'll see if it comes, but I don't see him holding that money back. He's got to give him that.
I take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, he don't have no choice of giving them that.
They got to give him.
Yeah, the Republicans are going to give him the back pay, and they're going to give him those bonuses that he said they're going to give him. They'll get them bonuses. Yeah. If they stay working, like some of them didn't have a choice but to leave.
Right.
But the ones like the air traffic control and what's the people that check the flights and stuff? What's the
TSA people?
TSA.
Now,
all of them are going to get the $10,000.
So I will say that on my latest trip across the country, I think that was the last time we did the podcast. TSA was great. Like, we got through TSA quicker than we normally do.
They're the same people that was working. A lot of people they were just overworked.
Yeah.
A lot of people stayed on the job.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, I would have stayed on the job. Like, I'm not going home because it's a government shutdown. You know what I mean? Because I know that I'm going to get paid, and it's probably going to be some kind of bonus behind that. You know what I mean? Some kind of overtime, maybe time and a half. It's going to benefit me, you know what I'm saying, in the long run. Plus, if you work a federal job and you ain't got a month in the hole, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people live in check to check, but federal workers shouldn't be living. They don't pay no medical bills. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be. They should be able to go a month with without a check.
Right. Because and then if they weren't able to do that before now, they should position themselves to be able to do that because another government shutdown is a possibility at any given time.
Right, but if you been, let's just be honest with each other. If you work for the federal government and you don't, and you know what I'm saying, and you don't have a check in the hole or 2 checks in the hole, then you're not taking, you're not using good money management, financial responsible, or you living beyond your means, and that should have been a wake up call to you, and that's what happens. Is that you can't depend. The same thing when I was a car salesman. I used to make the mistake of spending all my money. You can't predict what's going to happen to the economy. It's you don't have any control over that. Anything could change overnight. Like, we went bankrupt. Remember that? It was 2000. You was married to a car salesman in 2009, right? Mm-hmm. We went bankrupt. Shoot, man, we ain't had nobody was selling no cars, no nothing. You know what I mean? The ones that had a little bit of money, they held on, and the ones that didn't have any money, they went and got jobs somewhere else. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but you know what I mean? I was down to my last when everything started picking up when Obama came in and did the cars for clunkers and stuff and gave us some checks and things like that, for automobiles and, but, saved the automobile industry. President Obama saved the automobile industry. So, and housing. So, you know what I mean? It was, this thing with that year I bought a house. I got, $10,000 or something like that. $10,000 check. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful thing to come back off of that. But the ones that left, you know what I mean, the ones that weren't financially stable, that broke, you know what I mean, they wasn't able to recover from that. And I mean, that's you got a good job and you don't got money, that's nobody's fault but yours. If you don't have a good job or you don't have the job that you want, you got this, then yes, the government may be failing you some. But if you got a good job and you got benefits and you're working, if you don't have any money or savings, then you have to look at yourself. Sometimes you have to walk by that mirror and face the fact. You know what I mean? You like a little bit too much, Ruth Chris and Chanel and, you know what I mean, and nice trips and stuff, and, you don't have a savings. You're living life like I used to live life before I smartened up. Well, I used to live life in my 30s. Oh, you only live once. I ain't going out with no money. And why? I'm gonna blow mine.
And figure it out later on.
One life to live. Those are statements from people that don't have life figured out. People that talk like that, and I used to talk like that, so I know for a fact what I'm talking about because I was one of them. You know what I mean? Those are bad ways of thinking.
And then there are a lot of people that don't necessarily fall into one particular category, but as Black people, we're very resilient, and we're gonna get it out of the mud one way or the other, no matter what life kind of throws at us. So,
but I wish I worked for the federal government and got that 10 bands right now. If it's coming right now, I don't know when it's coming.
I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, that we supposed to have got the $2,000 stimulus check. They don't move that to July. So they're waiting for income tax and all that to be done with. But whatever. But my thing is like the state of the Black community is, man, we got to do something with these young people.
We do. Yeah. Unfortunately, I've been. I looked at social media on Facebook over the weekend and saw that actually over the last 72 hours, and there's been 3 killings in my hometown in the last 72 hours, 2 of which were on the same street. All of them were kind of centered in North Florence, but I think one of the individuals was an older person, but I'm not sure about the other 2. Yeah, we do have to do something about these kids because it's just kind of, it's unfortunate right now.
Yeah,
what you think we ought to do?
Bring in the National Guard.
Okay, Donald Trump. We're not gonna bring no net. Bring the National Guard in where? You know, ICE was here a couple of weeks ago. ICE was at Columbiana last week before last.
Well, ICE. But the bad thing, well, not the bad thing, but the funny thing about ICE is because I bond a lot of ICE people out there want to just pay so that their families can get out of county jail and get to the ICE facilities. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, when they get to ICE, if it's just traffic stuff and this and this and this, they're overcrowded, so they sending them back.
Yeah, but what about the people? I saw something the other day about, and this is on ABC, CBS, I can't remember. It was on a large media outlet where an autistic child was walking home from school or something. He's like 15, and he was held for like 60 days. 48 days he was held. He was held for 50 days.
Documented?
No, he was he was documented.
Oh, he was documented.
Yeah, his mom reported him missing. And she was only able to see him.
She documented?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well then that's wrong.
Yeah, like.
But if you're not documented and you haven't filed.
Yeah, if you're not documented,
you haven't filed.
Right.
It's your fault.
I agree. That's a risk you take going to school, I don't necessarily agree with how they're doing things because a lot of those people are just civilians that have a badge and a gun and they just snatching people off the street. So, whatever. But people that are American service members that have a valid military ID being detained by ICE, like it's crazy. And there doesn't seem to be any kind of.
I mean, I get that. That's kind of casualties of war.
Yeah, if you undocumented, then unfortunately, I hate to say this, but you kind of get what you get because
Right. No, but I was on the other side of that, and I switched sides.
What do you mean?
I was on the other side, like this is wrong. Like, why not let the people stay? They're doing jobs that other people don't want to do. They're bringing money into the economy. They're spending money at restaurants. They're buying wood. They're building houses. They're doing stuff to build a American economy. So why not let them stay? That was my thing. But then I had a Mexican guy that bonded out. He knew the coworker was getting ready to go to ICE, but he just wanted to go ahead and help him out. Spent $2,000 for his coworker or his employee to be pushed along at ICE. So when he was in my office, I was down in Conway, and I just happened to be in the office down there that day, and I'm rarely there, but I just happened to be there that day. And he goes, I said, man, it's a shame what Donald Trump's doing to them. And he says, well, I was born in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? My mother and father was in Mexico. They came over here illegally. You know what I'm saying? I was young, but they came over here. He said he was like 10 years old when he came over here. And he said they did the proper steps to stay in the country. They didn't want to go back. They wasn't here to try to make a quick buck and send it home. And then if they get caught, they go back and they're able to live life better than everything. You know, using America as a quick lick and getting back.
Right.
So he was like, no. I mean, he says you'd be surprised, and I said, well, no, I'm not surprised because I saw the percentages of Hispanics that voted for Trump, and I was just like, wow, why would they do that? Like he's getting ready to build a wall, throw people over it. You know what I mean? Beat them up, you detain them. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to do that to your own people?
Right.
And he says, when they are coming over here, they all are under the understanding either that they're gonna come over here and run wild until they get sent back, or they're gonna come over here, they're gonna find a way to stay and do the right thing. And he says some people choose to come over here, party, work, and don't do what they're supposed to do. And if they get caught, he says they deserve to go back because they already know what to do, what they're supposed to do when they come over here. As soon as you get over here, you apply for the work visa, you do the natural stuff that you're supposed to do. You start trying to learn the language. You know what I mean? You start getting they'll help you stay. In reality, we want people to come over here and work because there's a lot of Americans that are lazy, that won't work. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have people that come over here that your friend is building the house right next to the little condo I'm in or whatever. You know what I mean? I see all the Mexicans doing his jobs. I mean, building that house. You know what I mean? I'm like, these people want to work, and this is not stuff that we are lined up to do, white or black. That's not a black thing. That's a poor thing. Poor people don't want to do poor jobs anymore. You know what I mean? To come up and better themselves. So these are the people that are willing to come in here and do it. What I don't like about the government is that it seems like they're just running after the black people.
What do you mean?
I mean, not the black people, the Mexicans and Latinos and Haitians and Jamaicans. But it doesn't seem like they're running crazy to grab up the Indians and the Chinese. And you can't tell me that all of them are doing the right things to stay over here.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
You don't think they're all doing the right things?
What?
No, I'm talking about you think they're running after the Chinese? I don't see them.
No.
Yeah, I don't see them running in the Chinese restaurants, but they're running over across the street. They done been over there twice. You know what I mean?
Really?
So, they've been over there twice. The staff that was there before Donald Trump was president and the staff that's over there now, it's maybe 3 or 4 of them doing a job that probably takes 15 people to do.
Yikes.
That's busy. It's not as busy as it used to be, but because they're getting, service times and all that kind of stuff. But they don't want to bring in other people, and they don't, and they don't have a whole lot of people to work.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But when those people, same thing at San Jose and Lexington that I go to, their staff is depleted. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't,
That's crazy.
But the thing about it, unless they just got here, they had a chance to go ahead and get some kind of documentation to start. If you show even if you go to ICE, even if they grab you and you go to ICE, if you could show when you have your hearing that you have done the proper steps to try to stay in America, they'll release you. Most cases, they'll release you. Now, that's some of those cases that they're just being assholes. Because those are the ones. A lot of that going on. Those are the ones that probably committed a crime or something like that, or have a crime on their record. They're not gonna, even if it's a DUI or driving without a license, that's not gonna work.
And so I think that's probably the case in a lot of cases. But then there's also a lot of rogue ICE agents that are just snatching people off the street and with no, I got an ID, I got a passport, but they don't care.
Yeah, they the bad police.
Yeah.
And I mean, we deal with that every day here.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? So they, throwing people out the car and so it's crazy. But I feel for them, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, man, it is an eye opener that if you do come over here, you better do the right thing to stay over here. Because you know what I'm saying, you need to be paying taxes just like I pay taxes.
Yeah, and then there are some people that are doing the right thing.
No, a lot. To be honest with you, most of them are. Well, I wouldn't say most. It's probably a 50-50 thing. But for every place that you go in and it's depleted and it doesn't have the 15 people over there, it is 7 people in there, 8 people that are in there working and did the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The tire shop over there, it's like 7 or 8 of them. The lady, the cashier in there, they did the right thing.
Yeah.
The people that came over and they hired, they probably told them you need to do this, this, and this, and they probably said fuck it, and then you don't have a right to vote, right. and you get a tyrant in the office that doesn't care about your people, and you go back but you had a chance. You know what I'm saying? It's a few of them that just got here and they're going right back, but a lot of them been here long enough to start the process. Right. It's just lazy. They don't want to learn this language. A lot of them just said, "Hey, I'm gonna run it up as much money as I can and." Whenever, as long as I don't get in trouble, I don't got nothing to worry about. And even the ones before Donald Trump was president, even the ones that was getting in trouble, ICE went, unless it was a serious crime, ICE wasn't even coming to get them. You know what I mean? That's the difference. You know what I mean? Because I work in that industry. Even when before, like if you had like a domestic violence 3rd degree, which is could be verbal. I could spit on my wife. I could push her. You know what I mean? Some spitting on somebody's not simple, but they consider it nonviolent. So you know what I mean. If I did that and I got a domestic violence 3, ICE wouldn't even come get them people.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even come get them, and they were illegal. They wouldn't care. They may have an ICE hold for 72 hours. If ICE don't come, they walk out, and a lot of people walk out. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the ones that committed a little violent crime. They take them to Atlanta. They had a hearing. They had enough money to hire an immigration lawyer. Then they still come back. You know what I mean? And then you got the ones that came over here. They bullshitting around. They drinking, smoking, committing crimes. Looking for white women in trailer parks to shack up with, doing crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like drinking all night, running over stuff, wrecking cars. You know what I mean? Joining gangs. Then you know what I mean? Then you got those. You got those that, you know what I'm saying, that now they running them out of the country. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of and you'd be surprised, but a lot of the Latino community want them gone. You know what I'm saying? They want to be over here making money and it's peaceful. You know what I mean? So,
something to be said about this, for sure. It's
weird, but you know what I'm saying? But as far as black people, man, I think, like, you know what I'm saying, if we don't do something about the young, we don't have to worry about 2026. We need to be worried about 2036 and where we're going to be at that point. You know what I'm saying? So we need to put more focus in our youth and, do whatever we got to do. We got to be up there hollering at the city council meetings, which my sorry ass cousin has just been elected to the city council.
Why you got to be sorry?
He did some bullshit with my grandmom and everything, but his sorry ass... Here. So, it's City of Columbia. So, my sorry-ass cousin is on the city council right now. So, y'all need to have y'all ass out there making them do something. Because, one thing I know, he know how to goddamn get some funds. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get on his ass about getting funds to get these... to get these gyms back open and everything like that in these communities.
Yeah.
And allow a lot of these community lenders to get grants so that they're able to financially help their community when y'all don't want to help them. You know what I'm saying? Or can't help them or whatever y'all, got going on down in the city. Because Columbia is one of the worst cities in the state of South Carolina as far as poverty, crime. You know what I'm saying? Unemployment, just homelessness, just helping the youth, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to get help. You're gonna have to stay on them people down there at the city council's back. They're your community leader, you know what I mean? And you're just gonna, that district is whoever's representing you, if it's the 29205, the 29, you know what I'm saying, 29223 area, whatever it is in Columbia, you know what I'm saying, whatever area you in, you're gonna have to stay on top of these people, you know what I'm saying? Right. And because the gyms they're so scared of crime, the crime that they don't want to, that Hobart doesn't want to fight, you know what I'm saying? They're so scared of the community that, or that they're going to have to work, they're going to have to do some work. They don't open up the gyms, they don't throw, you know what I'm saying? They don't throw community thing, they're not giving grants to community leaders. You know what I mean? After school programs, you know what I mean? It's hard to finance them, you know what I mean?
Well, so some of that is federally funded, and a lot of that funding has been snatched away because of Trump.
Yeah, that too. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that go in with it, but you know what I'm saying? In the inner city of every place in America, you know what I mean, we're gonna have to have something for the young people to do to occupy their mind, because right now, you know what I mean, they don't believe in school. They don't, even the ones that are not committing crimes don't believe in schools. Mm-hmm. So if you don't go to school, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, if you're not paying attention to school, even though school is a constant 12-step concentration camp, you know what I'm saying, if you don't, you still got to go through it. Sometimes there's going to be things in life that you don't want to go through that you got to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to go through that and go to college and obtain degrees. And people say, oh, well, you don't need to go to college. Well, you don't. You need to gain a skill. You know what I'm saying? They need to do stuff besides just sitting around all day and, you know what I mean, and wanting to, I'm a rapper, but wanting to be in the studio all day and do all of this and be, be non-productive. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be productive, because in 10 years the world is just going to look totally different, and it's going to be very, you can see by the price right now that it's going to be hard to live, you know what I'm saying, if you don't got no paper.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And people that's going to be hard to live, they're going to commit crimes. And the people that they're going to commit because of our mental health from slavery, the people that's going to commit the crime, people that they're going to commit the crime on is the people that are standing next to them. So, you know what I mean, it's going to be a lot of black on black crime. It's going to be, and not only are they going to destroy the inner city, they've started destroying the suburbs. Mm-hmm. Because even the kids parents that did do what they were supposed to put their kids in a better place, those kids don't want to go to school. Those kids don't want to do anything. Those kids are disrespecting their parents. Those kids are not doing what, are not, joining into extracurricular activities. So, you know what I mean, it's weird. What I'm worried about in 26, 27, and 28 is how we change the mind of the black child, because y'all, I don't hate anybody, but I very strongly dislike Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? But what he was doing is what we need to do to our kids. What he was doing was targeting the youth to change their beliefs into what he believed, and in order to make a more powerful white community. It's gotta be some black people that gotta do that. We need people that's gonna stand up, get on a podium and not be scared because they're going to lose their job, or they're going to do this and do what the sister that's doing, what's the sister in Congress?
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. We need 50 of them on TV every day. Yeah. Just ramming it down the youth's throat in every platform. Bring them to the BET Awards. Bring them to wherever, bring them to baddies. Wherever young people are consuming that content, we need 50 people that can just get up there and say what needs to be said and what they need to be doing in life, or we're not going to get to them. If you got one Jasmine Crockett standing up, screaming from a mountaintop trying to get the whole world to hear, it's not going to help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just, it's just I'm going to be more visible at me. I did good at 24. I slacked off in 25 because, it was just...
Things happen. Life is life.
Life is life, but I'm going to definitely get back out there, and you know what I'm saying? It's going to look like I'm being a 50 Cent to my cousin, but I'm going to, because he wants to, run for use addresses from... He really doesn't live in Columbia. You get what I'm saying? So, he shouldn't be running for nothing in Columbia. But this is a plot to get him to run for mayor of Columbia again, and this time win, because he lost. So this is the way that he's doing it to get through the city council and everything like that. But he's a creep. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say it right here. He stole from his grandparents. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And it's sad what he did, you know what I mean? But, when you're old and you're old and you're poor, anytime somebody, said, okay, I'm a lawyer. Here's my lawyer degree. This is what I suggest. You say, ooh, my grandson's a lawyer. I should listen to him. And you're 90-something years old. You tend to go sway that direction thinking you're going to lose everything if you don't do this way. And then he comes out when everybody passes. He comes out with everything. You get what I'm saying? So he's a creep. But, you know what I'm saying? He's always been a scammer, you know what I'm saying, since I was a little kid. But it's going to seem like that I'm attacking him when we go to these meetings. But since he wants to be a city councilman in my district, we're going to challenge him to do something. So, you know what I mean? So he's going to say, oh, well, that's my cousin that doesn't like me. But it didn't matter who was going to take that office. We're going to challenge him to do something with Park Lane, do something with Two Notch. This part of Two Notch, you know what I mean? It's got all of this was prominent black area. You know what I'm saying? And they let it all go. They let it all go down. And some of this is not the city, some of this is the county. But then you do have, you know what I'm saying? We're going to challenge the county to do stuff with Park Lane and all that. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to challenge the city to do stuff where they need to be. And we're going to challenge Forest Acres to do things where they need to be doing things at. So they're not going to have an easy year. And it's an election year. So some of them are up for election. So they're going to have to, you know, tell the people what they're going to do. We're going to have something to say about that. So that's what we headed for as a black community on this side of town. As me personally, I'm headed for, you know, trying to make change and get in the youth's ear. Because, I think we'll be all right economically this year. You know what I'm saying? I think the bounce back going to be good. You're going to see some tax breaks. You know what I mean? Donald Trump's going to do some things this year to try to gain the popular opinion back because they got an election to win. Mm-hmm. He can't go into the election doing what he's doing right now, or he's going to lose all his people. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see him throw some bones to get people back on his side. And then he's going to take them away. After the election, he's going to take them away, so you got to be careful not to fall for all the stimulus checks and $10,000 bonuses and all this other stuff that's going to, and that he's going to pay. The overtime going to be tax-free and all that kind of, those kind of things will make you fall in love with somebody. Especially if you're working in a factory job, which is Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, everywhere across the country, but mainly that Midwest that you need to win, you know what I mean, a lot of elections. So he's going to definitely throw some bones, so they just got to be careful and just know that, you know what I mean, what he's correcting is something that he put us in. Right. So, you know what I mean, so a lot of people don't understand that. Oh, he's doing this for, because when COVID was, we're going to get a check. Okay, let COVID get over here. You know what I mean? He's just trying to correct a mistake he made.
He definitely did
that. That's it. That's how I feel about it.
That concludes our episode for tonight. Okay. We're going into 2026. Yep. I expect big things.
Big things. Like Texas.
26 is going to be a good.
Big like Texas, everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
She done came up here and been a community activist for a whole year on this podcast just to go take her talents to Texas.
Well, you know.
I'll offer Beyonce song.
What?
What's the Beyonce song? Texas? What's her song? She got the Texas song. Got all the black women wanting to move to Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway. All right,
that in the story that you could buy a house cheap up there. But when I went up there and looked at the real estate, I didn't see it.
Listen, well, it's certain parts. Yeah, if you're talking about Dallas, you ain't gonna get no.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. Right. I am King.
I'm Sharif.
We out.